Prior to this video, we've looked at the concept of marginality, specifically the marginal cost and the marginal revenue. In this video, I'd like to look at a marginal profit problem where you've been given certain data. Okay, the data that we're seeing on the screen is average cost data, so the cost per item, and the cost per item changes depending on the number of items that you're going to try to make. Okay. Key formula to remember is that the profit is equal to revenue minus cost, and the revenue we've got at $2.25 per item. Okay, so we have enough here to generate the profit data. Okay, so if you would take a moment to put into Excel, as I've done over here on the left, the quantity versus the costs, the average cost, then we could start to build up our table. Okay, so let's take a look here. The average cost, or $1.65 per item at the 296 purchased quantity. So the cost would be $1.65, right, times the number of units being purchased. Okay. So there's your cost, $488.4 to purchase 296 items at an average cost of $1.65. You could drag and drop an Excel down and we now have our costs. For example, here 463.57 to purchase 307 items at an average cost of $1.51 per item works out to 463. So here you have your cost data, which is a good step in the direction of profit. So we've got our cost. Revenue, they're saying that it's $2.25 per item. So we can make our revenue function. Revenue is equal to $2.25 times the number that you are going to sell, $666, and drag this down to get revenue. Now profit, right, is revenue minus your costs. Okay, so you've made a profit of $177.60. Okay. So here are your profits at the various sales levels on the left. Okay. Now, let's start looking at various marginal ideas. Okay. Look at your marginal cost at a production at a 296 level. Okay, so the marginal costs, okay, the cost at a production level of 296. What's the cost for the 297th item? It's equal to the costs, right, minus the cost at 296. So the cost for 297 minus the cost for 296 of them. Looks like the costs have gone down by $16.17, which is good. Okay, so your costs have gone down the more you buy. Okay, what else can we compute? We can compute the marginal cost at a level of 302 because we have one more than 302. I'm sorry. We want the costs minus cost at 302. So the costs have changed by $10.55 at the 302 level. Okay. If you go to the 304 level or the 303 level, the marginal cost at this level is the cost for 304 items minus the cost for 303 items. Okay, whoops. So let me see, I'm subtracting the wrong values there. The cost for 304, minus the cost for 303. Okay, so the costs have only gone down by $1.51. Okay. All right, so you can continue laying out the marginal cost formulas. The marginal revenue, similarly, take a look here at the marginal revenue at the 306 level is equal to the revenue for selling 307 minus the revenue for selling 306. Okay, so at the 306 level, you make $2.25 more for selling that 307th item. That's what the $2.25 means. At the 309 level, the marginal revenue is equal to 697 minus 695. Okay. So let's see, at the 309 sales level, for selling the 310th item, you make $2.25. So it looks like we've got a constant going on there. Let's try one more. At the 317 level, the marginal revenue is the 318th revenue. How much should you bring in? One more than 317 minus 317. You get $2.25. Now this makes sense. The marginal revenue is $2.25 because that was our cost per item. The revenue function was a linear function, so we're always getting $2.25. But the cost function, the marginal costs are different. Okay, so now we can start to look at our profit function and say, let's look at our profit function at the 296 sales level. Okay, so your marginal profit is going to be the profit for one more than 296 minus the profit at 296, and therefore you make, for selling the 297th item, you make $18.42 in additional profit. Okay, so at 296, at that sales level, for selling one more than 296, you're making $18.42. Let's see what happens at the 302 level. Okay, at 302, you have the profit for selling 303 items minus the profit for selling 302. You made $12.08. Okay, let's take a look at the 303 to 304 and see if we can notice anything happening. The profit for selling 304 minus the profit for selling 303 is the marginal profit at the 303 sales level, $3.76. So notice that our marginal profit is decreasing. It's getting smaller and smaller. So let's keep going ahead and seeing what we can discover. At the 304 sales level, I need to go to the profit at 305 minus the profit for 305 minus the profit at 304. Okay, our marginal profit's going down. So at the 304th level, you only make an additional 73 cents for selling that 305th item. Okay, so at the 305 level, let's take a look. Profit for selling 306 minus the profit for selling 305. Okay, now we've now decreased our profit. Our profit has gone down, okay, because there's a negative number. Okay, let's see if we can figure out what's going on here. Okay, now that we have our profit function, let's plot the quantity being sold versus the profit function. Okay, and let's insert a chart. Okay. Oh, let me try that again. I need a single plot, quantity versus profit. Let's insert a chart here. So here's your profit function. Okay, and notice that's what's happening here. Let me make this a bit smaller so we can see it next to the data. Okay. Right. You can see that the profit at the beginning, our marginal profit was 18.42. So at that beginning level, notice that your profits seem to be going upward. and they're going upward rather steeply. The slope of the line between those two is positive 18.42. Okay, at the let's see, at the 305 range, 305, right here, it looks like the profit went down a little bit, right? But then it looks like right here at the 309 range, maybe the marginal profit will go back up again. Let's see if that's true. At the 309 range, okay, the marginal profit is the profit at 310 minus the profit at 309. And it looks like you go up by 73 cents for selling that 310th item. So this is realistically what happens. Your profit will sometimes go up and sometimes go down, and it's the marginal profit which is telling you how your profit is going up or down at various production levels. Okay, so hopefully that's a video that gets across the idea of marginal profit and gets you thinking about the profit versus the marginal profit. Okay, so that would be the end of this video.